Oh, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are joining us live. Thank you for joining us for this incredible month-long celebration where we really have been celebrating students and classrooms in school communities around the world who use technology for good. Right now, I am so pleased to introduce Jane G from Canada. I want to tell a personal story. We just met in January at FETC. So I am tipping my hat as well to Jennifer Womble and that FETC team because the conference is incredible. But we were able to meet, and it was like the meeting of the minds, not just as mothers, as educators, as entrepreneurs, but really as human beings who really want to make this world better and kinder. And so to find out what Jane has done behind the scenes to create Springbay Studio and what Springbay Studio is really inspiring and empowering our young people to become leaders. And so today we're going to be joining a classroom in Canada that is really going to show us what does this look like in action. So right now there's this incredible competition going on, the League for Green Leaders. And Jane, please let us know more about that, because I know because of classrooms and because just of the beauty of going live, we are waiting for that classroom to join us. But in the meantime, let's hear more about Springbay Studio, why you started it, what League for Green Leaders looks like, and why you're excited about celebrating with us this month.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mary Alice. It's such a great pleasure to be on your show. It's an incredible season for this April entire month to celebrate the impact of students all around the world. I think this is just tremendously impactful because your show connect the teachers, education leaders, technology coaches, and then also technology providers like us to all celebrate, the learning result, the learning outcome from our amazing students around the world. I feel just so honored to be here. And then also, to answer your question, why I started with this, I think is that moment when I connect with the environmental issue. It becomes something that as a mother, you have to do something. When we provide the best education, we provide the best, the food and nutrition for our children. Obviously, we want the best future for our children. But what happens if the earth becomes more inhabitable? We hold this responsibility because we bring them to this world. We have to make sure they are living in a more sustainable future. So that's really was the drive for us to focus exclusively only on environmental education. And then also talking about the League for Green Leaders. Actually, I'd like to share a little bit of story about that. It was developed during the COVID, believe it or not. At that moment, we when we were kicked off for the first lockdown, back to 2020, we were developing a game called iBiome Changing Ice. We want to connect children with the polar region. It seems far away, but actually it's not. And the every event, everything was kind of canceled because of the lockdown. So we said, oh, geez, this is really kind of terrible, but we have the technology in hand, right? And that time, schools start to use Zooms or to hold virtual classes. Then we saw that was the inspiration. How about we have something? We have all the games and they can play online to build their virtual habitat. And we also have the technology that we can track our carbon footprint. So that's what we're thinking. Maybe we can just have a kind of virtual competition to invite the children to join us through Zoom calls, and then play the game together, and then use calculators, and then connect the dots. So that was the origin of this game started to think about like maybe we can use the technology. So because the response from the teachers and the parents and the kids are really phenomena. So we were fortunate enough got some government funding to help with the COVID. So we said, all right, let's just use that money and to build a kind of like a League for Green Leader. That was how it was born.
You know what I really love about this is it's not just talking about, right? We're not just talking to students about this. You have provided an opportunity for students to really take action and become these green leaders. And so you're in the middle of this competition, I think, right now. Is that?
Definitely, you are absolutely right. So, like the League for Green Leaders competition, we hosted, multiple times in a year because every day is a Earth Day for us. But specific for this week, we would like to dedicate it a special edition of the League competition to celebrate Earth Day. We have children from Washington State, from Alberta, from Toronto. So like anyone actually in the world can join us if you want. So the whole idea there is like, I would like to go back to some of the challenges we heard from the teachers. Like, you want to teach about the environmental literacy, but you also want to keep the student hopeful and optimistic, right? We thought it will be a great idea if using the technology, we can magnify all the impact everyone is making. And then like to showcase, how much the impact we can create together if each one of us start to think about sustainability. There's no kind of criticisms or anything. It's just part of the fun. You can see the positive energy are gathering. You can see through the technologies, actually the positive impact actually has been magnified, has been virtualized, becomes how should I say that? Should be virtualized. Awesome. We have our heroine here.
Yay!
Hi, Susan Jim.
Hi, Susan. So happy. Thank you. This is such.
Sorry, you're not allowed on the screen. Remember, turn away. Thank you. Yeah.
This is such an honor
Yeah.
to be able to join you live to celebrate the great work that you and your students are doing. And all month long, we've been able to go into classrooms and celebrate students in classrooms, as well as the grown-ups, the teachers right alongside them. So I know for people that are joining us live, I'd love to give you a quick introduction that you are a public school teacher in Toronto, Ontario for 18 years. You're always looking for different ways to engage your students, especially during the pandemic. Teachers need to incorporate technology and its applications every day. And Susan, what you've been doing, you've been fortunate to be a part of Jane's League for Green Leaders online competitions. And that has kept your students engaged and connected with learning and caring about the planet in the 21st century, in a 21st way. So I'm going to go behind the scenes. Oh, I want you to know your students. We've got Frank. Thank you so much. You're joining in from Pittsburgh to learn alongside this classroom. Fantastic. I'll go behind the scenes, and we're really looking forward to learning more about being green leaders.
Thank you. So
thank you so much.
So I'll bring it back to Jane. You have a list of the order, so we can just go through and have the students share.
For sure. First of all, Madam Jims, I really appreciate that you take the opportunity and take the time to invite your amazing student to join us for this showcase. Today's call is really about the impact the students have made. It's about the total learning outcome that with your effort have created. So I know we would like to talk about maybe we start from the students who have done some great work through the league competition. They they have produced some amazing works in terms of various kind of a project. Maybe we can start from there.
Excellent. Okay, so Anton, que tu veux partager?
Hello, Anton. How are you?
I'm good.
Awesome, awesome. We're just so excited to have you here. We know you have some amazing project before. Would you like to talk about it?
So I did a project on the tree rings and how trees grow each year on the League for Green Leaders website. And
Okay,
I
for sure. So
I learned that in the summer, the trees grow more than they do in the winter.
awesome. Do you want me to bring up your document?
Okay.
Okay, cool. So I'm also first time to use this sharing. So let's see. Yeah, it should work. So that will. Oops. So can you see the?
We take that out. It's clear. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. So you can. Yeah, you can tell us more about your tree project, Anton.
So we got a little Christmas tree a few years ago, and they cut off the base for us, and we got to keep that. So we actually figured out how old the tree was by counting the rings. And the number of rings is equal to the number of years old the tree is. So I noticed that one side was the rings were larger on that side. So maybe that means that the tree got more sunlight or something on that side.
Yeah, this is awesome. And what make you to make that like a assumption?
Well, because usually when anything gets
Uh-huh.
more vitamins or anything that it needs, it'll grow faster. And so trees need sunlight. So maybe if a tree gets more sunlight, it'll grow faster on one side.
I love that your reasoning behind that. I think this is totally awesome to see your thoughts on that. That's really, I like it. You know, the observation from your daily the daily observation for other things, and then you applied it to here. I think. Do you think that kind of guess is like your speculation on that? Do you want to continue to do some kind of like a research on that?
Well, it's very interesting, like how you can see how old the trees are. So I guess I would want to do some more research on that.
Wow, this is awesome. This is awesome. And I think, like really we would love to see more of wonderful project like this and to be featured by the competition. And what do you feel about, being chosen as one of the best projects for that season?
I feel that's very interesting. I really worked hard on my project, and my work paid off.
Congrats, Anton. Yeah. So another question before I let you go. For this League for Green Leaders competition, are you going to do another projects for this round?
I'm gonna think about it. Definitely. I might.
Awesome. Yeah. So yeah, I really appreciate your sharing the your project with everyone here. Thank you, Anton.
Okay, merci. And then bring Teddy over next. Okay, Teddy.
Hello.
Hi, Teddy.
Hello.
How are you?
I am good. How are
You're
you?
good. Awesome. We know that today is much cooler than the weekend, right?
Oh,
So yeah, so that made me think about your wonderful project in the past. You made a solar oven. Is that the thing you want to talk about today? Or
yes.
sure. So let me bring up your project before. I would like everyone to see screen sharing best on a good computer. All right. I just want to make sure that I got the your. It's gonna be in here. Look at you.
Oh yeah, that's when we
It
actually
was a summer, right?
yeah. It was last year, I think.
Last year. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So it seems like you use a kind of like a reuse a paper box.
Yeah, it was an old shoebox, I think, for my boots, I think. Yeah, I have
Uh-huh.
like we have plenty of shoe boxes in my house, so one was okay to go to a solar oven.
Nice, nice. Like how you reuse things.
Yeah. We have too many boxes.
Uh-huh. And can you share with us, like, is there any kind of like a difficulty you, overcome for this project?
Let me just think back to when I made it. Difficulties? Well, there were definitely a few difficulties because actually in the little thingy, like some words were getting cut off, actually. So
Uh-huh.
like, wasn't too hard to figure out what they were saying, but yeah, that was the main thing. It was also pretty hard to actually cut into the box to get that little flap there with the tinfoil. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
too.
Did you like how did you figure out later on?
How to do that stuff?
Yeah, how to do that?
Well, I just thought to whenever else I cut things like that, just when the scissors cut. Yeah, wasn't too hard.
Uh-huh, I
Yeah.
see.
It was also hard to find a way to actually I know to prop up that little tinfoil flap. That
Okay.
was tricky. Like
It's tricky.
I think I ended up with like something like I think it might have been like a ruler or something that I
Uh-huh.
ended up using. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what I ended up using. Yeah.
I see. Yeah, this is kind of like a lot of things you have to figure out that you never done before, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. How did your solar oven work?
Well, I only used it twice before I accidentally stepped on it. But yeah, so we just put some bread out on our front porch because that gets all the sunlight. So I put it on the plate, just propped it up with that ruler, let it shine. It worked pretty fairly well. Yeah, it definitely cooked the bread. Not as much as like a toaster, but I don't think I left it out for long enough.
I
So
see.
here I'm gonna leave it out like all day. There
This
in
is
the morning, and then I take it out at lunch. Yeah, that should probably work.
wow.
Hopefully, we have a sunny day.
Ah, yeah, for a sunny day, that's for
Yeah,
sure,
we need
right?
a sunny day for this to work. Because if it's not a sunny day, the sun isn't as powerful, so it's not going to shine down like
as much, and we're not going to get as much solar energy cooking whatever's in it.
Wow, this is really awesome. Do you think, do you want to, if there's a chance you're going to redo this project this year, what area you will probably improve?
Well, first of all, I am doing this project again. I want one that I want to do stuff in it and not step on it again. So okay, I am doing the project. And what I think it'll be better is, experience, I guess, since I've already made it. I know exactly what to do and what to use, and I know what materials to use instead of just kind of experimenting a little bit with that stuff. I know a shoebox will work, maybe not instead of a long computer box or something. And I know how to get the scissors in. I know how to prop up the tinfoil thing. So it'll probably be a bit easier. And the experience from what was it, last year, I think? Yeah, a few seasons ago will definitely help.
Wow, this is just so nice to hear about this. Do you think, this is just a project for your classroom, or you think in the reality, actually, people can kind of take advantage of some inventions like the solar ovens?
Yeah, solar oven is definitely a good thing. It's a classroom project for now until people have invented good sized ones to cook big things. But I think people should definitely work towards that because they do work. When I used it to cook bread, it did work. I didn't leave it out for long enough, but it did work while it was out there. And it does, they do work. So if there's a big oven sized one that you could put outside in the summer, it would work. The only concern is the winter. That's when it wouldn't really work. But but they're definitely an invention that should be made, I guess. Plus they're super eco-friendly. They only require solar energy and whatever you're making them from, hopefully a gigantic shoebox that they make. Well, that actually is going to be hard. But anyway, yeah, it was eco-friendly and it's smart. Why do you need an oven when you have a solar oven? Well, they're bigger, I guess. But 20 years from now, why would you need an oven? Well, actually, why would you need a normal oven? Because hopefully we have solar ovens.
Wow. Really love your idea, Teddy. When you're talking about the future, exactly the good question. Why should we, right? Why not we use something new and very innovative like a solar oven, just like you said? This is so inspirational to hear about your thoughts on, how can we better use technology in a very good way. Thank you.
Welcome.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Welcome. Thank you.
Hi, so for this next one, we'll have to put the camera off, and then if you can just share the screen with her.
For sure.
Yeah, great. Okay. Thank you. And then I'll call Elliot up to the microphone. Okay, Elliot.
Hello.
Hi, Elliot. How are you?
I'm good.
It's so awesome to showcase your solar oven project.
Yeah. I made that a few years ago, or last year, but it's actually showcasing in our school library at the moment.
Wow, congrats. So how, did you hear any questions from your friends, from your, classmates?
Not really that many questions because we all kind of do League for Green Leaders together. So we all kind of know what League for Green Leaders is. Yeah.
I see. Can you tell us more on why you choose this project?
So this was actually the second project that I did out of 3, But so I've also done research projects, which I like a lot, but I chose the solar oven because it seemed like a very unique like tool to be using when you're just like what to not use gas. It seems like a good alternative because you can just make it out of a shoebox.
Mm-hmm. And why you are thinking about not using like a fossil fuel based kind of energy resources?
Well, because fossil fuel is like really damaging to our earth. So I feel like we definitely need an alternative. Because with fossil fuel, they're also not going to be there at a point in time. We're going to use it all up. And then humans need to create something that we can use after that happens, or even start using before that happens because we don't want that to happen.
This is so forward thinking. I just love all you have said. Do you, do you have any concerns about our current consumption on the fossil fuels?
I have a lot of concerns. I do believe that humans are slowly ruining our planet. Because back in the days of the dinosaurs, our planet was lush and covered with like nature and animals all living together. But now humans, like they've taken all this fossil fuel that's been there for thousands of years, millions of years even, and they're using it for their own consumption, and they're definitely using it too much. The ozone layer is failing at the moment. Like there's a lot of holes in the ozone layer, and you know, eventually the holes are going to be very large and the sun is going to shine through, and that's basically what global warming is, except for the heat getting trapped. And like fossil fuels, other than ruining the ozone layer, they're also ruining our oceans, and there are so many animals in the oceans that are getting covered by oil, and they're really like struggling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is so nice to hear you talking about those kind of issues. So, where did you learn those informations from?
Well, I read a lot of books on many different topics. Reading is one of my favorite pastimes, and I also really enjoy hearing about like activists around the world, specifically female ones that I can look up to, and I can be like, if they can do that, I can do that in the upcoming future.
Wow, this is so awesome. You must have a hero or heroine like in the green space. Do you?
Well, I do really like Jane Goodall because I feel like the work that she's done with chimpanzees has shown us all that we're not the only people, the only species that can be like loving or be like really innovative with tools.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful. Yeah, she is also my heroines as well. I think her work like really has a worldwide impact and become a role model for many kind of a younger people after her. So like something like, do you think you can make an impact?
I mean, I really do hope that I can make an impact. I hope that when I'm older, like I'm planning to be a scientist when I'm older, specifically a paleontologist or a zoologist. So I hope that with the work that I'm doing, like
Uh-huh.
like paleontology or zoology, then I can show humans, use my platform and show humans that, we need to stop doing what we're doing and we need to figure out another option.
Wow. I really love your vision there. So this is, I'm just so happy to hear that you already have a goal for your future career. Enjoy learning, and I think you.
Okay.
Yeah, this is, like fantastic opportunity to talk to
Sorry, Jane, you're cutting out. Should I be doing something so it stops glitching?
Sorry. This is probably is the internet.
Oh, okay.
We're still
Okay,
depending on the technology here. It's really awesome to hear your great, very, very bright students. And can you tell me a little bit, how old they are?
Well, students are in grade 6, so they're between 11 and 12 years of age.
Wow. Like it was this age that they already thinking, ahead of the time, thinking about their future career, thinking about what they would like to do with their learning. I like. How do you feel about the their comments?
Well, I definitely feel that because of the learnings that we have and the information that's coming out at such a speed, it's really nice to have their insight because really I'm not sure if they even have processing time to process the amount of information that's coming out. So it's nice to see that, regardless of that, we're still able to have good reflection from our students and good thinking to continue on.
I see. Yeah, this is great. And then I think, I would like to mention that Susan actually bring her students to to the league competitions every time when the competition is on. I wonder, what is the reason behind that?
Well, Wilkinson is a eco platinum school, so we endeavor in every classroom to make sure that we are injecting as much eco literacy, eco learning as possible. And I always look for opportunities where we can find open-ended activities to pique their interest and motivate students to want to do more on their own, to do more learning on their own. So this is a great segue into doing activities that hit this brief. So I really appreciated the opportunity to be a part of this unique learning experience.
Wow, this is really awesome to hear that. So the another part I think is you mentioned about provide students a little bit of kind of opened kind of space for them to explore. Did you think that would be helpful for the current your curriculum?
Well, in terms of time management, yes, because then you can decide if you want to put more time into a specific topic, or if there isn't time for that, you can decide to just make it much more brief. So from that standpoint, it gives that flexibility to the classroom teacher to do that. As well, I think there is never enough time to talk about environmental issues and to talk about what's going on in our planet. So that's why I hope that the students do take home these topics and explore more with their families, explore more with their own friends, and to do that outside of the classroom and make it even more real.
Wow, this is just so, I love your point of you kind of touch upon on the bigger ripple effect that everyone can have, and especially based on the the environmental education from your school, and the children can carry it on and then share with more of the people around them, then where each one of them is going to make a bigger impact in there. And I think, that's really awesome to hear about that. Perhaps it's also, you hear anything in terms of the feedback from parents who are with your students on that regard?
They've been very supportive and positive overall, the parents that I have connected with. And I think, this is the type of learning that we want to have and instill in our children, this lifelong love of wanting to do more and to learn more on any topic, not just environmentalism, but this definitely is very close to all our hearts, and making sure that we have a planet for all of us to share and enjoy for many, many, many more years to come. So I do, want to share that this is not just learning in the classroom. This is lifelong learning. So
I love your point. I think Mary Alice also would love to hear this as well, and many other educators. To help with this lifelong learning, and then also the making their learning, connect their learning with what happening in the real world, and get the kind of the community around them to also start to care more about the world around us. I think this is really to me, this is the only way for us to see sustainable kind of a development is through the people that we educate and you guys educate. I just feel really such honor to hear about that part. I think, is that maybe talking about the impact together, perhaps we can kind of do a little kind of like invite your students to do a little kind of a calculation maybe. For this calculation, just to save time, maybe we can start talking about using a assumption, some data that we collect so far using the technology. So I'm happy to report that over thousands of students around North America has been using the League for Green Leaders, and the program is really about empowering everyone to do a little bit of reducing our carbon footprint. So to showcase how much together we can make a difference. So in the past, for the league competition, so collectively we have reduced over 66 tons of carbon, a reduction. So maybe I would like to invite your students to be a part of this kind of calculation to see the impact that we created together. Is that okay?
sure. Do
Sure.
you need me to share screen, or can you show you can take over for the calculation part?
Yeah, I can. Yeah, what I can do is I can share the screen. I would love to hear your students, because we're going to use is a EPA's carbon footprint, the greenhouse gas equivalency calculator. So we can translate when it comes to 66 tons of carbon footprint. What does it mean? Right? So with that one, is that okay to invite your students to tell us, what they would like to do? I will going to share the screen with you, with everybody. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to share the screen again. Does the last time everything, the screen sharing works well?
Oh yeah, it was very smooth. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So I'm going to share the screen.
Okay, we're gonna get to the EPA calculator in a moment, so just watch what Jane's doing and follow along, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, I don't see.
Thanks, Madame.
Yeah.
1, 2.
Awesome.
So let me find that link for you. Hang on. So it's EPA calculator for carbon footprint. Did we find that?
On classroom?
Yeah. So let me just write the link here, because I know some of you can't see what's on the screen. So EPA. Greenhouse gas. No, this is separate. This is specific calculators for checking out together. And then we'll do the leap for doing So your page.gov/energy/ greenhouse gas equivalencies EQUIVALCENCIES and then over your button. So type that into your URL. And so can you sit here? You can look at mine if you're having trouble. Okay, I think they're in.
Awesome. Thank you. So what we're going to do is to use this greenhouse gas equivalency calculator to make sense of the data of the the carbon that we reduce. What does that mean, right? So for that question, I would like to enter using this one emission data. I will say the carbon dioxide or CO2 equivalent. So let's put 66 metric tons of carbon dioxide that we have collectively. The students are like in North America has used the program to reduce, to measure. This is the impact. So what does that mean? If we click on convert data, I would like the students to, there's many options here. So how about we choose, like an option that the students would like to select, like equivalent to what?
Anton, do you have any values that you think are appropriate?
It says this is equivalent to the greenhouse gas emissions from 14.7 gas-powered passenger vehicles driven for 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
Is that cool? So like together, you guys thinking about, you are in the like grade 5 or grade 4, grade 6, and together, this we call the green leaders. Really, you demonstrated for 66 metric tons. That equals to 14.7 gasoline-powered passenger vehicle driven for 1 year. So imagine, like we have thousands. If each one of us can invite one of our friends coming over to join us to do this together, right? And then we can make the not 66 metric tons. We probably can really double it, maybe triple it, or even more, depending on the people that is going to do this together. And then you are going to see this number. If we have not 66, if we have say tenfold of more people join us to be 660, can someone tell me how many of the gasoline powered passenger vehicle will be kind of equivalent? We pull them out off the road.
So I'm just going to turn the video screen off, and then Bridget's going to come and share. Okay?
Sure.
Okay, go ahead.
Thank you, Bridget.
Nice and clear. Yeah, just read after that.
You're welcome.
14.7 gasoline-powered passenger vehicles driven in 1 year.
14. This is for 66 metric tons, right?
Yeah, 0.7. 16.7.
0.7. That's awesome. So my question here is a little bit related with math. If the total of the CO2 becomes not the total carbon footprint we save increased by tenfold, which is 660 metric tons. My question is, that will be equivalent to how many gasoline-powered passenger vehicle driven for 1 year?
Well, then it'd be 147.
147.
So it would be 147.
Awesome. You really had a good math skill. Awesome. Let's try it out. Like if we put this much and do the calculation again. Here you are. That's really awesome. And then like someone else have another part maybe we can talk about. If we saved 66 tons, what does that mean? What area would you like to talk about?
Just scroll down to any of the text boxes if it's something you want to share. Ross, can you come and share with us? Yeah. Yeah, right into the microphone. Yeah. Okay, Ross is going to share something.
Awesome.
Like any.
Yeah, any of the talk about any of the values you see in the text box.
Okay. So, 73,930 pounds of coal burns.
Wow, awesome. I like your choice there. Why is that specific category you like to choose?
Like, I guess it's just like it's like bad for our atmosphere, and like it shouldn't be happening, I guess.
I see. For the coal burning, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, in the world today, we still have some power plants that provide the energy we need are still using coal as a way. Especially, I don't know whether you heard about this is a complicated kind of like a topic, when the energy in the winter, for example, for some of the other part of the world, the energy supplies for sustainable or renewable energy sources is still kind of like on the process of development. So we still have to rely on the coal. When the coal are burned, like you pointed out, it's really bad for the atmosphere, for the climate issue. So I totally share with you, just by like all the around thousands of students in North America, you actually recorded the sustainable choices you are making already make this much of an impact. You removed 73,000 and 360 pounds of coal burned. So like the goal for this week for Green Leaders, we set up your goals to say 15 tons of the carbon equivalent. So I think, it's really a good time, to using the data, to using the math that you learned in the school to kind of like a showcase and communicate with the other people. When you are talking in that way, I would suggest you to talk about the numbers with your parents when you go home today and see what they will say to you. Because you're really talking a language that adults are using. We're not only using big or small, but we're using like the scientific measurement to represent what is big, how much is big, how much is the progress. So I really, really appreciate you participate this with me. And what we probably will have time to kind of have for one more option. Who else would like to choose another category to talk about?
Teddy. So I'm just gonna bring Teddy back up.
Sure. Awesome. Hi, Teddy.
Hello again. Okay, let's see. It looks like 8,028,415 number of smartphones charged.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you to choose that.
8 million. There are 8 billion people in the world, so that's not good.
So what does that mean, right?
That means that there is more than that. More than if every single person in the world had a smartphone and they charged it, let's say every day,
Yeah.
How high would that number be?
This is a great question.
Already 8 million. How
Yeah.
many millions?
Yeah, think about it, right? So I really love your choice, Teddy, there. Like a smartphone, everyone has it. So that means if every one of us kind of are reducing a little bit of a carbon, like a carbon footprint by choosing something more sustainable, then the like the amount of the effort to think about, thousands of students are tracking their carbon footprint for a short period of time, and together we can make the over 8 millions of smartphones, kind of being charged,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So like the like I would like to talk to you, Teddy, a little bit. During your league competition or day-to-day life, what is the best way you enjoy doing to reducing your carbon footprint?
Well, let's see. Well, let's start with food. Eating healthy food is two things: delicious and pretty fairly eco-friendly most of the time, like fruits and vegetables.
Wow.
And like avoiding red meats. Okay, red meats are delicious, but other foods are good too. And like you can't have like a hamburger every single day, so might as well try something else. And like for example, fish. I think is better than red meat, and it's delicious. It's good. Like other foods are good. I get to eat. Yeah.
I really love how you look at this. The like the other food options are also good. Like yeah, like you pointed out, right? There's so many different variety that we can choose.
Yeah, for sure.
And I would say, Teddy, you choose a very hard one because a lot of the time, like the red meat is, like you said, is delicious, right? We're just saying if we can reduce a little bit, then we are really creating an impact. And if you are doing that on a regular basis, as time goes by, your impact really accumulates.
Yeah.
That's really awesome.
Thanks.
Bravo to your choice.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Time for wrapping up. Thank you. I can't hear.
Of course, I had the mute button on.
Sorry. Yeah.
Here I was going waxing on eloquently. I've been in the background, really just taken by your students and your commitment to like let us see what eco-literacy looks like in action. So this was a really wonderful moment to get ready for not just Earth Day and Earth Week. I feel like, Jane, in the very beginning, you were talking about these competitions go on all year long because it's not just about, putting a check in the box and saying we had that conversation. This is something that we can actively do and we need to do every single day. So to see the students in action and your classroom in action was a real treat today. And the people that joined us live, I want to thank them because they were active in the comment section. And Jane, I'd love to know from you, how do they get involved? I did put a link out, which I'll put back up again, about how people get involved.
Yeah, so this is a online competition. So as long as the teacher have a what's the word, to have a computer and internet, and if they are using English right now, we have the English version, then they can anywhere can join. And we also offer a free trial where when you say you only have 5 minutes for your day-to-day class time, you can use the free trial just to let your student experience for 5 days, just tracking their CO2, how much of the CO2 that can be kind of reduced, and use that as a starting point to get the kids start talking about, just like those kids we hear today, about the sustainability. So talking about connect to the environmental literacy.
This was really wonderful. Well, thank you for the honor of, connecting at FETC in such a meaningful and authentic way for this partnership where honestly, we are always looking to celebrate how to use technology for good. And when you make that combination between digital citizenship and the SDGs and climate education, I mean, that is an opportunity to identify a real problem and solve it. And what the students we just were able to witness, this is eco literacy in action. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I love to share. Thank you for Mary Alice for your wonderful work in terms of getting the global community of educators to talk about, just like you said, the real problem. And then I want to thank Madam Jim for your tremendous, contribution to connect the children with their learning about science, their passion about learning lifelong, and also the impact they can create at such a young age. Really grateful for all the contribution from both of you.
And then there's the bell.
Yeah, just
Yes. So thank you.